Coming up on Mountain News at 6, hundreds of people are without water in one Whitley County city. And the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act has passed in the U.S. House of Representatives, with Kentucky Congressman Hal Rogers voting in favor. More about that coming up.
Plus, a mild and soggy holiday is on tap. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Work is ongoing to fix a major water problem in a southern Kentucky city. Some people in Williamsburg have been without running water for several days. The problem is a main break in a line submerged in the Cumberland River. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on how people are dealing with the outage just days before Christmas.
Water is being put into buckets at the Williamsburg Fire Department, and others are getting cases of bottled water.
Got a lot of bottled water, and I got 2 5-gallon jugs, and I fill them up and flush my commode.
People are stocking up while crews dig to put a new water line below the Cumberland River. This after a main break of a line that was submerged in the river.
He was walking on the bridge coming home from work and called me and said, I think you got a water leak out of a pipe on the river.
The break caused 1,100 people to lose service.
That is the water line that circulates and comes around and takes it up to Highland Park.
Harrison believes the water main was put in the river in the 1970s, and a break like this is rare. He suspects floating debris may have busted the line.
So we're having to go on this side of the river, George Hayes side, and bore a new line all the way across the river and pop it out, and we can connect it over on that side.
In the meantime, people can get 2 cases of bottled water and fill up 5 gallons of water for general purposes. More will be made available if needed. The timing of the holiday weekend is not ideal.
If it's any other time, I think it would probably be a little bit less stressful, but being right here before Christmas, I'm praying that we will have water during Christmas.
Harrison says the city of Corbin and Whitley County's water district is also helping. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
As of now, Mayor Harrison says it's not known for sure when the water service will be restored. A Pulaski County man is facing charges for his role in a sexual abuse case. Last month, officials with the Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division responded to a call of someone who was reportedly a victim of sexual assault. After interviewing the reported victim, detectives gathered information and learned 31-year-old Nicholas Murphy had sexually abused a child. He was arrested in South Carolina 2 weeks ago and was taken back to Pulaski County yesterday. Also in Pulaski County, deputies arrested a man they say set a trap that popped another officer's tires. 56-year-old Christian Polk was arrested yesterday. He's accused of setting hidden wooden planks with nails sticking up in his driveway earlier this month. A deputy reportedly ran over them when trying to serve Polk with an EPO. It caused more than $600 in damage to the patrol car. One southern Kentucky city department is asking for help finding a person reportedly wanted in regard to a theft that occurred at a business. Officials with the Corbin PD say the person is tied to a theft that reportedly happened at a business in Corbin. If you have any information about the case, you are asked to contact the police department at 606-528-1122 or text their tip line at 606-215-6239. Officials say all information can be kept anonymous. A murder 6 months ago with no arrest made has left a mourning family to spend the holidays hoping for answers. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares how the Floyd County family is coping this Christmas.
Amber Spradlin's family looks back on the hilarious holiday stories of her teen years.
She thought all the months leading to Christmas that she was going to get her a car. And Christmas Day, though, rolls around, and her grandfather hands her a little box, and she's thinking, wow, this has got my keys in it. She opens it up, and it's one of those little cars, the Hot Wheels cars.
Because those ghosts of Christmas past are all they have left.
As she got older, it became a family tradition for us to put the tree up. So this has been really hard. I didn't put a tree up this year.
Instead of decorating the tree together this December, Spradlin's loved ones were left to decorate her grave.
And it was really hard to see her name on a plaque.
The Prestonsburg woman was murdered in June, leaving her friends, family, cats, and community waiting for justice 6 months later.
It shouldn't be that way. She shouldn't be putting flowers on my grave, not this way.
Melissa Salmon says investigators have been keeping the family informed as the lengthy process continues, leaving her helpless but hopeful that this will be the last holiday those involved in Spradlin's murder will remain free.
I don't know how their family could celebrate with them knowing what this person has done too, knowing. And I hope the guilt, if there is any guilt, I hope the guilt eats this person alive.
Seeing justice for Amber would be the best Christmas gift they could ever hope to receive. In Prestonsburg, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Salmon says the family is receiving periodic updates and has more inside information about the investigation than they are able to share, so they are confident that justice will be served, even if it is taking longer than anyone wants.
Well, we are tracking some cooler conditions as we go into this evening. Those current temperatures in the upper 40s and a few lower 50s in some areas as well, up to 50 for Jackson, 49 for Pikeville, 44 in Clintwood, and 46 over in Manchester. So we are tracking some more cool conditions once again as we go overnight. Those low temperatures are close to freezing in the middle to lower 30s as that dry weather also continues as well, all thanks to high pressure. Now, this model is trying to show maybe a few sprinkles in the Cumberland Valley, but again, the air is so dry. I do think most of that is evaporating before it hits the ground. But as this high pressure system continues to sit here for a couple of more days, we are tracking some more dry weather, not only in our region, but for much of the eastern coast. So as that busy travel season gets to ramping up tomorrow, if you have those travel plans, maybe a few delays in the Midwest, also the Northeast, but notice for the southeastern coast, as that high pressure system continues to park itself here, we are tracking some more dry weather on Friday, but changes on the way for the holiday weekend. A few spotty showers on Saturday, but more higher rain chances by Christmas Day, also by Tuesday of next week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Cameron. A new report shows teacher pay in Kentucky is lagging far behind inflation. The Kentucky Center for Economic Policy compiled the data. It shows when you adjust for inflation, teachers earn nearly $10,000 less than they did 16 years ago. The smallest decrease in our area was the Whitley County School District at about 19%, while the Leslie County School District had the largest, more than 30%. Kentucky will get more than $1 million from a massive Google settlement. We told you earlier this week, Google agreed to pay $700 million to states and consumers to settle an antitrust lawsuit. The Justice Department and dozens of states accuse the company of abusing its dominance in online search. Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office says Kentucky is expected to get more than $1.1 million in the settlement. One Southern Kentucky woman has been appointed the new clerk for the Supreme Court of Kentucky. The state Supreme Court announced in a release Katie Bing is taking on the position. Bing is the 5th person to hold the position. She is succeeding Kelly Stevens, who left the position earlier this year to serve as the clerk of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 6th Circuit. Bing is a native of Laurel County. The House of Representatives recently passed the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act, sending it to the Senate. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares how one organization leader thinks this can help more people living with Parkinson's disease.
Nearly 500,000 Americans are living with Parkinson's disease, a disease that is growing.
One of the problems is that Parkinson's is the fastest growing neurological condition on the planet. but there's very little funding going toward Parkinson's disease.
Parkinson's in Motion Executive Director Jane Rice Williams says there aren't many resources for those living with the disease in eastern Kentucky.
And you know how many movement disorder specialists are centered in eastern Kentucky? None.
Saying she was happy to see legislation passed in the House.
We were very thrilled to just be sitting on the sides waiting for that to happen.
She says while other health-related diseases are funded, she wants to see more being done for Parkinson's.
Which is great. I'm glad about that. But Parkinson's is funded at only $250 million a year, and there's so many affected by it. So this national plan has just really sailed through the House of Representatives this last time, and it will unite funding, unite research.
Williams says they are helping folks in the region who didn't know they had the disease.
And many people have come and said, maybe that's what's wrong with my father, and found out that they did have Parkinson's with one of their loved ones because of what they learned at our meeting.
She says through funding and research, they can help those living with the disease gain resources.
We want to get people out. We want them to feel like they have community and people to interact with.
In London, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Williams says this will allow more people to gain knowledge and resources. For more information on Parkinson's in Motion, you can find this story on our website. Officials are warning folks to be on high alert of illness this holiday season. Respiratory illnesses like COVID-19, RSV, and the flu are on the rise. Health officials say folks need to pay attention to their bodies to notice any possible symptoms, and that may come with tough decisions on how they will spend the holiday to avoid the spread.
One of the key things you can do to take care of yourself and help your friends, family, and coworkers is if you are ill, stay home. Please do not go into work. Please do not go to the family gathering. I know we all hate to miss the family gathering and so on, but if you have any of these symptoms, you really need to consider staying home.
Lockard says ways to protect yourself include staying on top of your vaccinations and wearing a mask in public. We will have more about this tonight at 11. Airports play a big role in reuniting thousands of families during the holidays, and TSA says today and tomorrow are two of the busiest days for air travel ahead of Christmas. Lauren Zimmerman with Bluegrass Airport says today, tomorrow, and the day after Christmas will be their busiest. She says they'll have about 30 departing flights each day, which is about 2,000 passengers.
Ourselves as well as our tenants here at Bluegrass Airport are prepared to accommodate all of the travelers.
Zimmerman adds there are a few tips for a successful flight. She says get to the airport early, know what you can and cannot bring in your carry-on bag, and if you are traveling with gifts, leave them unwrapped.
Well, if you're traveling this weekend, we may run into a few showers across the mountains, mainly by Christmas Day. Those details coming up. Plus,
One Breathitt County Volunteer Fire Department has been an important piece in flood recovery, and they are finding ways to make Christmas dreams come true as well.